Hello everybody. My students point out to me today that I haven't posted a video in 3 months. I've been reusing old videos on my channel for teaching, so I thought I'd put a new one out here tonight. Okay. I hope that holding my camera horizontal the whole time will not make this video be flipped. I've been having bad luck with that. Okay. If you ever need to get a hold of me, here's my email address. All right. Yesterday, I started us talking about the Sunspot Cycle. And being the cruel person that I am, I read off about 35 numbers of this data and made the students graph them, okay? And they thought they were dying. I told them, don't worry, I'll make it easier on you to finish the rest. Okay, so here's what we have. These are yearly averages. These are the years I started. This sheet, for whatever reason, starts in 1920 and ends with 2024. Those are brand spanking new numbers. I'm recording this mid-January 2025, so these are brand new numbers, 2024 numbers. All right. So that's 3 complete sunspot cycles. What you should notice is they're about even in their widths. They're about 10 to 11 years wide. Okay, but the peaks are dramatically different. Now, we start out today's lesson by, I had copies like this taped up on the windows in the locker bay, and I had the students bring their unfinished graphs outside to the windows and just trace the rest. They'd already gotten the idea of how the graph was made, and this wasn't busy work. I just wanted you guys to be able to get done. This is the whole data set from 1920 through 2024. All right. Notice the widths are still about 10 to 11 years wide, but look at the variety of the activity levels. And I asked this question when we were done: is this real? And that's a complicated question, but like yes and no, okay? Because what this is a graph that took these numbers, which is, it's okay, it's looking at these numbers, but this tells you what those numbers are telling you. A graph is a way to look at numbers and create a visual image with them so the human brain can get it. Okay? All right. Let me show you a nightmare. Okay? This is monthly numbers. Okay? We have monthly numbers from January 1749 every month up through December 2024. Okay, I'm just going to scroll. Those numbers are changing. Watch this column right here. This is the only one that matters. Okay, this is the sunspot number, the average. That's why there's decimal. Like the one I'm pointing out right here, November 1774, for example, the average was 29.5 sunspots. There's no such thing as a half sunspot. That's an average. Okay, all right, I'm going to continue. Okay. Look at the numbers, and you should be able to see the numbers go from single digits to double digits to triple digits, and then down to double digits, then single digits. It's a wave. Okay, I'm still going. Look at all this data. These are monthly averages. I'm going to speed up. Okay. Okay. My parents' birth year just went by 1942. My birth year just went by 1966. And my kids' birth years just showed up 2009, 2010. Here we are at the bottom. Let's see, at the bottom. Okay. Let's see if I can get to the very, very bottom. Notice these have asterisks because they're still crunching the numbers to make sure they're official. This is December 2024, the very end of the year, at 154.5 sunspots for that month. All right, now, that's a lot of data. If you show a human numbers like this, it's too much. If you show them this, they go, oh, I get it. All right, so here's the thing. Yesterday, I had them mark the lowest numbers in the series. Like so there's, see, it went down to 6, then it gets bigger, then it drops down, there's another. It isn't always 6, but there's a 6. Then the next one, we marked them with minus signs. 11's the smallest, and then 4, and then 10, and then 9, and then 29. That's a really big one. Okay. See, that's the smallest it got. And then 8. And then 2008 was a really low one, 2.9. That's a yearly average. 2019, 3.6. Okay, now, those that we marked are minima. I'm going to use my Sharpie so it shows up. Okay, here's a word that most people don't run into very often, but it's an important word. Minima. I used a minus sign for that, and I'm writing and videoing at the same time. Minima. This is lows. Low, I'm just going to write lows. And the opposite, maxima, are highs. More than one maximum means you have maxima. These are highs. Okay, so I'm going to mark those real quick. 78, 114, 152, 190, 107, let me see, 249, 157, 120, 57. The temptation is to mark 2024 as the next one, but what if 2025 beats it? So we're going to leave that one alone, okay? I'm going to put a question mark by 2024. Okay, so the maxima are marked with plus signs, the minima are marked with minus signs. Here's the next thing, okay? It isn't a big deal what the minima, okay? The sun doesn't do very much then. It's not that dangerous. In a modern world dominated by everything wireless, these matter. The maxima matter. Back here in the 1980s, we didn't have wireless stuff much, okay? The point I was making today is to my students and their addictions to cell phones and everything convenient and wireless is it's all radio. Your cell phone isn't a phone, it's a radio. That's why it doesn't have wires coming out of it. That's why we have cell phone towers. Those are radio towers. Like, well, so what's the point? The sun is radio active. It actively puts out radio and interference. And when the sun is extra hyper, it can mess with our convenience and our technology, okay? If we get hit by a big blast like has happened in the past, we could lose temporarily or permanently networks that would have to be repaired and replaced, okay? A big blast from the sun could take out satellites and entire networks, okay? Imagine life without the internet. Oh my, okay? All right, let me show you spaceweather.com, okay? Look up here. Spaceweather.com is one of the two addresses at the top of the sheet. You might want to know about spaceweather.com for Friday's quiz, just saying. Okay, I'm going to show you spaceweather.com. I check it literally 6-8 times a day, okay? It's new every day. They have new information. This is not the garbage you'll find on the internet that's usually wrong about astronomy stuff. This is good stuff. This is an AI-free zone. Real humans put this together every day, and they have fact checkers that make sure they're not screwing stuff up. So, like just for today's stories, there's a comet in the news. I don't know if you can see it. Okay, that was a video taken from Arizona. This was a comet we're happy that has survived because it took a suicide path right by the sun. We were worried it was going to die. It didn't die. It did not die. Okay, but more importantly, spaceweather.com is worried about space weather, not wind. There's no wind in space like air moving, but the sun is blasting stuff out into space all the time. Here's a picture of the sun today. Okay, this big sunspot will probably be in the news soon. I'm hoping it makes some nice northern lights for us. Okay, when this thing is facing the Earth and over here, it has a great chance of hitting us with blasts of extra particles from the sun and radiation and magnetism and all kinds of good stuff that makes northern lights. Okay, all right, I'm going to exit out of that. Let's see. Now, there's all kinds of stuff. There's 106 sunspots on that image I just showed you. That's the number for the day. Okay, Here's the kind of like space weather report. Here's the northern lights that are happening right now. This is at about 9 o'clock at night. Okay. There's nothing in the United States, but anyway, that's what's happening right now. Okay. Here's the sun right now, and a big hole in the corona where extra stuff can come blasting out of the sun, some of it toward us. Okay. All right. Now, what I showed people. Oh, this is new. This wasn't here earlier today. During school time today, I didn't have this to show. This is an animation, a computer animation of that comet that's swinging around the sun. Let's see, it's probably going to loop. Okay, let's see. How much? I don't know how long this is going to be. Let's see. Okay, watch this. Watch the comet get closer and closer and closer. We didn't know if it was going to survive the trip. Thankfully, it did. Watch his tail whipping around. All right, back to this. Now, nice thing about spaceweather.com is you can go back and find old information. Like here from the 13th of January, I wanted the kids to see this. Okay, here's that comet up close as it zooms around the sun. Okay, that's the head of the comet right here. And what I likened it to was, if you're imagine the summertime, you're at a campfire, and a moth flies by and falls in love with your campfire and dives in. And, of course, it's not going to end well for the moth. Okay, we didn't know if this comet would survive or not. It did. But the real reason I'm showing you this is, look at all the stuff blasting out from the sun. There's a lot of stuff right here. Watch this. We're going to talk about that tomorrow in class, what these are called, coronal mass ejections. This is the sun losing stuff into space all the time. When I told you that the sun loses between 4 and 5 million tons of mass every second, 4 million tons every second, that's some of it there going out into space. Okay. All right. Let me go back. Let me see if I've gotten everything I want to get. Okay. I think I've got it. Okay. So we don't know. We won't know until a year from now if 2024 was the peak or 2025. My money is on the Sunspot Cycle peaking early in 2025, but the average being lower than 154. We'll see. Okay, is this going to be the peak, or will it go up or go down for the next dot? Okay, next year's ninth graders will know the answer to that. Okay, is there anything else I wanted to tell you? I think that's it. I'm going to end this. It's already almost 13 minutes long. I'll post it.